This is the talk show that takes a no-holds-barred approach to politics, where truth and integrity are the standard and the Constitution honored. From Renaissance Studios, this is Champion News Talk Radio.
Good morning and welcome to another great edition of Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. We are your choice for the conservative voice. This is Ann Parisi. Today our founder, Jack Roser, and myself. The week before Christmas Sunday, have Bruno Behrand with us, our friend Bruno. And Bruno, you are a fellow at the Heartland and
right.
for the good of Illinois, and Bruno's a true patriot. And
Illinois policy wonk.
Illinois policy wonk. What do you have to say about that, Jack?
Well, I've known Bruno quite a while, and we're all lucky that he's got an interest like that.
You're an attorney too, aren't you, Bruno?
Yes, I am an attorney, but don't hold it against me.
No, I won't do that.
No, I don't. I've only been involved in 2 cases, actually 3. So I'm 2, 0, and 1. We had a tie. We sued the comptroller. Back in 2009 about not having a balanced budget. The comptroller wasn't the target. We wanted to sue to say that the Illinois citizens have a theoretically constitutionally balanced budget, but the budget's not balanced, and that was John Bamenek and myself.
Incidentally, it's constitutionally required that they be.
Yes.
Yes, but they never do, and they haven't for 30 or 40 years. So. At least 20 years there hasn't been a balanced budget. But anyway, that was one lawsuit that's still languishing. The other one was a con suit, and the other suit I took a school board to task. I sued a school board that was trying to remove a seat from contention in an election because they thought they might get an election challenge that year. And it was just one of those dastardly things that school boards, school superintendents, and the people that run the education system in this state love to do.
Let's hear a little bit about your thoughts on the Illinois education,
well,
miseducation.
Lurch, stumble, and fall.
Exactly, and basically the thing, and I've been saying this for the longest time in education. I mean, what we really need to do is transition away from a system where the money follows the bureaucracy, the union, the district, the bloated jobs, and the money actually starts to follow the child. So I'm 100% in favor of vouchers, and if charter schools and things like charter schools and digital learning are a pathway to the money following the child, then all the better. But that's what should happen, is the money should follow the child, not the bureaucracy.
How do you think that, how does that measure up to the current system?
The current system, particularly here in Illinois, I mean, first of all, every state varies a little bit. Every state has a little bit of leeway or a little bit more freedom or a little bit more transparency. But here in Illinois, you have 890-some school districts. You have, very similar to across the nation, literally half of the people in the system are teachers, the other half are administrators or support, and they're spending about anywhere between $10,000 and $12,000 per child on average in the state. And just imagine if people listening, they could, if you took 10 students and $10,000, it's $100,000. You could probably do a pretty good job of teaching 10 students, but instead in this system we spend that on roofing contracts, on unnecessary buildings, on referenda, on churning bonds. Everybody's making money off of education except for the students who aren't getting as good an education as they should be.
Well, and this money comes from folks' property taxes that keep going up, even though their property values are going down here. And before our show today, we were talking about what's going to happen in Cook County in Illinois with our property taxes.
Property taxes in Illinois are set to skyrocket, even without.
What do you mean skyrocket?
Well, you're looking at. I think it was when liberal Democrats like Rahm Emanuel and Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas get on the news and work on policy studies with free market think tanks like Heartland, and start saying things like property taxes in Cook County could jump as much as 20 to 50 to 75%, even 100%. Rahm Emanuel testified 150%. And this
But don't they have caps on these property taxes?
Hold the phone. Hold the
sure.
phone. Let's talk about that because you're talking about Cook County, which because of the property tax should be Crook County.
Absolutely.
Because it was organized for crookery.
Yeah.
Because uniquely, the real estate tax for businesses, for anybody who owns business property, is 2.5 times what it is for homes. Homes vote, businesses don't.
Right.
So, and that's set up with one assessor for the whole county, including Chicago, the only guy that can change it for you, and that, of course, involves a payment. I'm not accusing anybody of a felony here, but if you give money to the right politicians, you can get all kinds of breaks, as Sears and many other companies. Sears got a $12 million break out in Cook County a year so that they would stay in this state. So they bribe companies to stay in this state that's punishing businesses so badly.
Absolutely.
But it makes everybody come to them. That's why the business groups that have Cook County businesses aboard, they have to be very mild. You never find them being true radicals trying to change the things that need changing in Cook County.
Exactly.
They go along with it because they're caught up in the business
and they don't
of
want to rock the
regulation.
boat, and they don't want to have
Regulations and the property tax. It's all the power that the crooks of Cook County need to keep themselves in office.
Well, I'm just going to say, I know back in 2008, a couple of my girlfriends and myself were thinking about opening a business. And we looked in Palatine. It was a home, but it was zoned commercial. It was a Cape Cod, 2-bedroom Cape Cod home. We're talking extremely small, quaint, cute. The property taxes on that building were $24,000 a year.
Right.
Whereas if they lived in it, if they only lived in it, I'd say by today's measures and so forth,
Probably
if it's a nice one, might be $5,000, $6,000,
$6,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's in other areas. I mean, our property taxes in River Forest are exorbitant. I mean, we have one of the smaller houses in town, so it's not as obscene as the people who get the new construction across the street. But with property taxes, almost 70, anywhere between 60 to 75% of that property tax goes to education spending. It doesn't go to educating children. It goes to education bureaucracy. It goes to unnecessary buildings. It goes to financial consultants.
You know what, Bruno? Though I'm gonna say something, because I'm in this Cook County universe. Have kid that goes to school. Women get petrified when they hear you're going to cut their schools. My kid deserves a world-class education. And I understand it now because of working here with you, Jack, and being open and aware to what's going on. But the average, let's face it, it's the women who are more engaged for the most part in the schools. They want their kids to have the best. But how do you message to them that it's...
Well, here it's a tough nut to crack, but here's the issue. And I've offered this hundreds of times. I've basically talked to parents and said, get together a group, go to your library, reserve a room, and get a bunch of angry soccer moms and put them in a room, and I will give a presentation, and I will talk to them about how bad the schools really are, what money they're really wasting. And here's the very simple message for any soccer mom listening to this broadcast and thinking about, oh my gosh, you can't cut spending, it has to grow and grow and grow. Here's the fact of the matter. For the money that they are spending on children, per child, it's actually not spending it on children, for the money that they are spending per child, if you went to a better reform system, you could literally pay for almost a year or half a year or 2 years of college education for what they're spending right now. And this money is going into the staffing, it's going into the unions, it's going into the union contracts. And dear soccer mom, paying a school superintendent or a union boss an extra $50,000 a year isn't connecting one more neuron in your child's head. And someone has to go to the soccer moms and they have to be a little bit aggressive and say, you need to stop supporting the wasteful spending, and you need to start getting angry about why your kids aren't better educated compared to Singapore, compared to Finland, compared to Sweden, even in the suburbs. These parents, they think their kids are getting a great education.
Because they have these little labels outside of schools.
It's a moderate education at best.
Blue ribbon school.
Yeah, and I mean that's. Don't get me started.
No, let's get you started. This is what this show's about. We want to get you started.
And Jack and I mean, this is where I first met Jack and started talking to him about all this kind of stuff, and it was all having to do with education and education reform. When you start looking at the state budget and all the problems that are going on, particularly with things like pensions. But here's the thing. Every little thing that goes on in schools, whether it's class size, whether it's the signs that they have out in front, whether they have the blue ribbon school, almost everything they do is a scam.
You know what?
That's...
We're going to talk more about the school scam, and remember, Illinois pension scam is the root of the school scam. Stay with us. This is going to be a great show. Stay right with us.